actually one of the most important parts of the song because it's the most relatable and it's really the one that people remember.
Connection established.
All I gotta do is put my mind to this shit.
Hey creators, what is up? How are you doing? How are you feeling? Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my musical playground where music is always in motion. If you're new here, hey, I'm Kelanji, and if not, welcome back. In today's video, we are talking about how to create a song from start to finish. So whether you are a beginner and want to learn how to create a song or not, or if you are someone who just wants to know how, this video is for you. But before I get into it, I just want to say, you are the artist, you are the creator. With these tips that I am going to give, this advice I'm going to give, take what it is that makes sense to you, or however you want to do it. If you want to switch it up and you don't have to go in the order that I give it, you can do whatever is comfortable, or you should do whatever is comfortable for you. Disclaimer, I am no pro. I am a creator just like you. So, with that being said, let's jump right into this video. First of all, there are certain things, certain factors that you want to establish before you even start recording. And one of those things is asking yourself, what is the concept of the song that you're going to create? Is it a love song? Is it a motivational song? Is it personal? What is the concept? The second thing you want to ask is, what is the mood? What mood do you want to create in this song? Do you want it to be happy? Do you want it to be sad? Do you want it to be anxious? Do you want it to be angry? What is it? Then another thing you want to ask yourself is, what's the genre? Do you want it to be an R&B song? Is it pop? Is it gospel? Are you rapping? And obviously, though, when it comes to genre, that falls into the niche and the type of music that you create. Or if you're someone like me who really doesn't have a specific type of music that I like to make, this is something that you need to ask yourself. What kind of song are you creating? So those are the first three things. What is the mood? What is the genre? And what is the concept? The second step that you want to work on is actually writing the song. So we'll focus on melody first. I want to advise that you find the music, if you're not creating it, that inspires you. Something else you can do is start humming a melody or playing around with different sounds if you are using a piano or a guitar. Focus on creating a melody that fits your vocal range and that feels natural. Make sure it's catchy and easy to remember, especially for the chorus. Make sure it matches the theme of the song. If it's personal, make sure it's relatable and emotional. Second, let's talk about the lyrics. Here's a structure that you can follow: verse, chorus, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. Next, we want to talk about the chorus because it's actually one of the most important parts of the song because it's the most relatable and it's really the one that people remember. So you want to make it catchy, fun, exciting, and again, something that can be remembered. Then we want to talk about the verse because the verse builds the song. So it should be something that flows with the chorus. Next, we want to talk about the bridge because in the bridge, it creates an opportunity to change the melody, add variety, add a little bit of spice. And so think about that when you are working on the bridge. What does that sound like? What does that feel like to your listener or even to you? Next, I want to talk about the instrumental because you're either creating it or you're finding a pre-made beat. And there are plenty of resources for you to find royalty-free tracks and other tracks to purchase. I want to talk about tempo because you want to make sure that your tempo matches your vocal range. And if you're unsure, especially if you are creating the song, try creating it in different keys until it matches. Or if not, find the song that is more aligned with your vocal range so that it can match. The key is to find what is comfortable for you. You don't want the song to be right here and you sing up here because you probably not going to be able to get down that low. So that's what I'm talking about in terms of like finding a song that matches you, that needs to match, so that even if you're mid-range, right, mid-range, you can go down a little lower or you can go up a little higher. At the end of the day, it needs to be comfortable because you don't want to be screeching, you don't need to be yelling, and you really don't need to be stressed. The next step that we want to talk about is rehearsing. Okay, now that you've done those steps, right? You know what you're going to sing, you've written the lyrics, and now you need to practice. Now you need to practice. And that includes warm-ups. That includes warm-ups. So one thing that you should do is experiment. Experiment with your riffs and your runs, phrasing for melodies, and the texture. Make sure it's comfortable to sing. You want to practice singing in various dynamics. So that is how soft you're singing, how loud you're singing, how powerful you're singing, or how subtle you're singing. All these things add emotional depth to the song and to your performance. The next step is the recording process. This is the fun part. Okay, the lyrics is fun too. But this is the fun part. And one thing you need to make sure is that you're in a quiet space, no distractions, no noise, none of that. Try. The next thing you want to be doing is recording in layers. So, you'll be starting with your main vocals or your lead vocals. Then you'll be adding on the harmonies. And that can be to your chorus or to your verse. It's all depending on what it is that you want the song to sound like. And then you'll be adding your ad-libs and your back vocals. And that enhances the song. It enhances the energy and the emotion of the song. One thing that I would advise is not to be afraid to do multiple takes. Um, Sometimes that first take wasn't it, and by third take, it's like, this is it. This is it. And the only way you're going to know is if you do the take over and over again. I mean, unless, you just get it on the first try. But I know I don't get anything on the first try. And I have to do the takes over and over and over. And I don't know. I could do a take probably like 25 times until I feel like it sounds right. Like, it was too soft right here. I need to emphasize that more. Or it was too loud right here, so I need to soften that. Or I need to add a little oomph in it. Like, okay, you will figure that out as you go, and you won't know until you do it over and over and over again. Again, like I said, unless you just get it right on the first try. Okay? And if you do, kudos to you. Okay? The next thing that we're going to cover is the editing portion, and that is your mixing and your mastering. This is the most, I don't want to say daunting, but it's really not my favorite part, because I still am struggling with that and trying to level it out and make sure that my vocals are mixing and it all sounds like one. Sometimes it's louder here and louder there. And I know something that I have to do is listen to it out loud. I have to listen to it on my speakers and not through my headphones, so that I can actually get a clear hearing of what it would sound like if somebody else was listening to it. So, in your DAW, which stands for Digital Audio Workstation, make sure your vocals are synced with your music. You can use pitch correction like auto-tune. Not too much. I really try not to use it. I know sometimes, it helps. But try not to use it a whole lot. But you can use it as an option. Try and keep it as natural as possible. While you're editing, cut out that excess noise. Sometimes you click in, you click out, take out the clicks. Sometimes you got that extra breath or whatever. Like, cut those things out so that, it's nice and smooth. You got the song when it starts, you hit your vocals start, boom. That way it's smooth. That's the point. You want it to run smoothly. When you're mixing, you want to make sure that you are not overlayering your vocals and that it's not overpowering the instrumental. You don't want your instrumental louder than your vocals, and you don't want your vocals louder than your instrumental. So, the work is finding the middle ground. So you've come to the end, and you want to make sure that it sounds polished and the volume is set well. And honestly, that's it. That is how you create a song from start to finish. Sometimes it can take you a day, 2 days, a week, 2 weeks. All depends on how you work and how you create. So that concludes today's video, and I really hope that this piece of information helped somebody. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, comment how you create your music, and if you want to see more content like this or music related, subscribe, hit the post notification bell so that you can get notified every time we're at recess. Every time we're at recess. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.